Hey everybody, welcome back. So a couple of months ago, me and my fiance bought a betta fish, and since then he's been living in his tank on our dining room table, and we figured it was time that he got his own place. So I'm going to be making a sofa table where we can put his tank in our living room. So a couple of weeks ago, I went to the lumberyard and picked up this 8-quarter cherry, and that's what I'll be using to make the table. So let's get started laying all of the pieces out. So I've already looked over the pieces and generally figured out where I wanted all of the parts to be on each of the boards, and I took down some notes on those and all of the measurements and all. So to start, I have these two pieces right here are going to end up being the sub top and the shelf, and there isn't really much I have to do with these other than resaw them and glue them up into panels. So those are good to go for right now. Next we have this piece, and this is what I am planning to use for the top. And right now it's much larger than I need it to be lengthwise. This will also be resawed and glued into a panel. So now we're coming into the bulk of where all of the layout is going to be done. And so I have these two pieces, and this first one is going to be, because I want to hide these knots here, these are going to be on the bottom shelf, and I'm going to try to keep this part on the bottom of the bottom shelf just to hide these. So these I need to cut off from this side 16 inches, and that will be the dividers between the sub top and the shelf at the top, and then 2 of the breadboards that will go on the panels. So I'm marking this at 16 inches. That'll give me a little bit of extra to work with. And then on the 16-inch part, I want 3 inches for the breadboards. It'll be a bit oversized, and then the rest of it will go to the dividers. So this whole board will be getting resawed also, so that will give me both dividers, both breadboards, or 2 of the 6 breadboards that I'm going to need, and then the panel will be resawed and glued up also. So that takes us to this piece here. This is going to have the drawer front, which I think I'm going to take out of this side. So I need that cut off at 16 inches also. So from the rest of this, I have to get 2 legs and 4 breadboards. So what I'm planning to do in order to get straight grain for the legs is cut the sides off of the board and use that as legs, because that'll give me the straight grain that I need. So I'm just gonna go 2 inches from each side, roughly. And then from the center I need breadboards. Each of those is 2 inches wide, and this section between the legs is about 4 inches wide. So, and each of them I believe is around 12 inches long. So I'll just have this whole center section that I can pull those from. And this last piece is where I'm gonna get the other legs. I'm gonna do the same thing, take the grain out of the sides of the board where it's straightest. And I'm not sure if you can really see the grain that well, but on this board it's slanted somewhat towards the center of the board. So what I'm going to do is with my tapering jig, cut off with the slant of the grain, and then I'll be able to rip the board out of that and the grain will run straight down through it instead of slanting. So I think that is pretty much all of the pieces. Okay, so here's where I'm going to leave off for right now. I've got the leg blanks roughly milled up, all 4 of them. All of them came out as well as I had hoped. All of the grain on all of the sides is pretty dead straight, so I'm really happy about how those came out. I also have the breadboards. They're milled to rough length, thickness, width. I have to finish those up. These are the 2 dividers on the between the sub top and the shelf. And this is the drawer front. I'm leaving it thick because after I put the drawer together and put it in, it's going to have a curve on the front that matches the curve on the rest of the table. So I'm going to leave it thick until later on when I know exactly how thick that it needs to be to accommodate that curve. I haven't done the panel resaws yet. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do that, if I'm going to use the table saw and bandsaw or just the bandsaw. We'll see when that comes, but I'm going to let all of this reacclimate, let all the stresses shake themselves out, and then I'm going to come back tomorrow and mill them down, hopefully to final thickness if things haven't moved around too much. All right, I'll see you guys later.